Okay, so there is a little bit of confusion, I think, in terms of what we're filming here. This is not a What's Hot in Munich. This is a live from the 2023 Munich Show, so it's a little bit different. Unfortunately, we don't have our normal What's Hot hosts, but I am standing outside the booth of Marcus Budil, and I'm about to go in there to do an interview with Marcus. But we've got a special treat for you today. For this clip only, maybe another clip, I've got a special guest. Come on in, buddy. Alan Hart, our host from What's Hot.
Hello, how are you? Hi, everyone.
But he's not wearing the shirt now. So that means we're doing live from the 2023 Munich Show. How you doing, Al?
Very well, thank you, very well. Great to be back. Great to see you again after a few months, but lovely.
It's been a while, yeah.
And everyone out there, you're going to see some amazing things, I can tell you.
Yeah, and we're going to talk to Marcus. We're going to see some of his great pieces, but then we're going to wander into the special exhibit where you all got a peek of that yesterday. But we're going to go in depth. And I mean, Al, tell me, this exhibit is out of the way.
It is out this one. I mean, I looked up some of the established dealers who've been in the show, looking at some of the specimens, and even they're coming out wide-eyed.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
It's one of the best things they've ever seen. So
Yeah.
it's just awesome.
I can't wait till the public comes in, and I think that whole area is going to be packed with.
Get your pictures now, because you can't even get near the cases.
Well, we got to get in every day early before the doors open so that we can get the proper shots.
Absolutely, we're lucky.
All right. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Al. We're going to go over and we're going to meet with Marcus right now. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go.
Marcus. How you doing, buddy? Okay?
Good. How are
Great
you?
to see you again.
Good to see you again.
So here we are, you know, at a Munich Show 223. We've seen some amazing things, but of course, some of those material we'll see later is provided by you for the special exhibitions. And of course, you do have a booth, so let's look at some of the things you have for sale and for viewing as well.
Yeah. Actually, it's not for sale, but it's on display, which is a really, really a cool, specimen and object d'art.
Yeah, of course. So this is a Brazilian quartz. Of course, as soon as you see that, it's in the shape of a fish, and someone's put a lovely eye, just to reiterate the point. But what an amazing specimen! And actually, the more I look at it, the more I think it's such a fantastic object in itself.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I'm happy I got it finally, because I remember it from must be like 30 years ago.
Oh wow!
Helmut Brückner, the German dealer.
Yeah.
At the time, got it, and he put this eye on it, which is made of platinum with diamonds.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And it's just really cool. So, and Helmut sold it to Keith Proctor years and years ago. And so obviously then it been to the US, and I think it was displayed in Tucson. I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years ago.
15 years ago, yeah.
So anyway, so many people came, that remembered from the past. Say, I know that piece from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, then, since Keith Proctor, he passed away several years ago, I got the chance to acquire it.
Wow. So it's been a real feature piece for many years.
Yeah.
Even now, people come up to us and say, I know that piece, or...
Yes,
it'd be in the psyche of new collectors.
Like people like Marshall Sussman, who was around for so long, and he handled thousands of specimens. He immediately knew that piece.
Yeah.
And wow, I always remember that.
That's incredible. And I love the way you've put the two malachites and chrysocollars each side. As you said, it's the fish feeding on the corals as well. But these are great. I love these malachites and the chrysocollars. They're stalactites, aren't they? One stalactite that started growing as individual malachites, but then depositionally it turned into chrysocolla, probably azurite, and grew bigger and bigger. And you basically took the stalactite and sliced it very thinly and polished it.
Exactly. It was just one piece that I got several years ago, and we cut it into slices.
Yeah.
And obviously they started off, like this size at the top.
Yeah.
And then got bigger and bigger, so the whole piece was like that.
Yeah. So you've captured the growth history by slicing it, looking at it.
And I thought it's cool to display it together with the fish.
Perfect. It's perfect. And at the bottom, you've got a lovely selection of beautiful objects like entwining South African rhodochrosites, amethyst, of course, tanzanite there as well. This gold is amazing. I was looking at this yesterday.
It looked like a sculpture too, like a mountain. Yeah.
Really fine filigree gold. All the crystals are piled on top of each other. into this wonderful shape. Awesome. As ever, Marcus, just awesome. I think it's a ruby. You've got a ruby there from
That's a ruby.
Afghanistan as well. You know rubies from Mogok or from Mozambique, but crystals from Afghanistan. They did come out a few years ago, but that was just a really good piece. Great colour.
And as always, important is the lighting. You see, you put a little backlight.
Light about it, just to show that colour as well. Because sometimes it can be slightly dark. That is actually perfect. Wonderful, love it.
Okay, let me close that again, so nobody gets hurt. Yeah, you know, as always, have a selection of assorted minerals from basically all over the world.
Yeah, it's quality
Emerald,
material.
Tanzanite, of course, again.
Yeah, and I love this Irongo shawl.
That's pretty new find.
Yeah, new find,
it's
is
really weird. The combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you said before, it looks like an edgerine.
Yeah, but when I first saw it,
it's black tourmaline. It's
black
pearl,
tourmaline.
together with two types of fluorite.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I love, this is a lovely twin fluorite here, isn't it? That's it's showing a typical flattened morphology. And then you've got these tiny cube octahedra of green fluorite just dotted amongst this mica, it looks like, on this shawl crystal, which is just awesome. Beautiful. And of course, I think we can't go away, but Marcus always has some great Alpine and European classics. So we've got some great ill-filled manganites. These are a real feature of old museum collections as well, because this deposit's been was working for many years. And you can see you've got some really great old labels with those specimens as well.
Old Romanian gold.
Romanian gold, yeah.
Looks like wings, you know.
That's right, yeah. They're really sought after now. Yeah. And of course, there's the different colours. Look how much lighter that is. There's a lot of other elements in the gold itself, like silver and palladium, just to lighten the colour. So you get
look at that. If we want to switch over to here, that's a recent find from Morocco.
Oh, right.
And mentioning the difference in colour, you know, this is much more yellow than the Romanian one. Yeah.
Yeah, probably a lot.
You know better. I'm sure there's different other elements maybe inside that make the color.
Yeah, a lot of gold, you know, the more golden, and it tends to be high gold content. If it goes towards pink, you might have a bit of copper in there. Then you get the lighter palladium and some of the platinum group elements substitute in the gold, and you get them, you know, almost like silvery, metallic.
That's very cool, I think.
That's a great angle.
Great angle. It's hard to find.
Yeah,
you know,
these were a few years, weren't they, ago?
They came, you know, out in the 80s in Morocco into a seat.
What's lovely is
really hard to find them. Yeah.
That's great luster, you know.
And you can see, you know, the reflection there.
Yeah.
What's it called? The reflection index, like.
Oh, the RI, the refractive index, yeah.
It's very high on the English side. It's not that high as a diamond.
That's right, yeah. It's got when you get something with a high refractive index, it tends to have a really bright luster as well. So that's really cool. You know, it's the Euclid's here, isn't it?
From Colombia. From the find from 8-9 years ago.
Yeah.
We were mining there actually for 3 years. Yeah. And so basically, I was paying for 3 years, but didn't find anything. So that's mining.
Wow. Yeah.
So we are right in the zone where those came.
But nothing came.
Literally zero. Yeah.
You're mining some pink apatites as well at some point.
The same
locality. Yeah.
It's beautiful, the combos, and that's why I started mining there. But so far.
And these are great as well. I love it. I know it might not be the most prettiest mineral, but I think they're awesome. The bastnasite there on matrix. That's a beautiful crystal at the back there, the brown pseudo-hexagonal crystal. That's really nice. Well, of course, famous on the left there, you've got a ludlamite spray as well. So the iron phosphate, that's a really nice piece. What I love about your case, mate, there's always something to see, Marcus, something that's a bit different, and you mix it up.
Thank you.
You know, you do.
Yeah, you see, some flashy things. You have classic stuff here, Alpine.
Yeah. And then you have true, remarkable objects that are part of your own collection or things you have, and they're all in the great.
Yeah. You see it already.
Let's look at this here.
Yeah, that's really cool. So obviously Eberhard Equit and Brian, he did even filming with him while he was painting. And so this was his last work he did. So it was 2015.
Right, okay.
And I supported him a lot with, he did, I think, 40 some paintings for me. I think me and Barry, Barry Ample did a lot. I did a lot. And all of them are in this book. And that's really cool because it is the...
Wow. Oh, wow.
Here, the number one.
Number one.
50.
Of 50. Oh, wow. Incredible.
And he wrote a, nice text. And also it was 2015 when my first daughter was born. So he he mentioned it even here and dedicated it to my daughter, which is really nice, yeah.
But you look at this book and the quality of work is incredible. And so a lot of these paintings are figured in the new exhibition.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of text here.
A good amount of...
The more important thing...
I love that. Oh, I've seen this.
Yeah. So, for example, that's one of the pieces that's on display.
Yeah.
Together with the original painting of Eberhard.
But, it's really amazing that to capture three-dimensional objects in a two-dimensional painting, but to be able to retain the form and the translucency and get the colour right is exceptionally difficult. And this is
so difficult, yeah. Look, it feels like it's you can touch it, Yeah. And as you said, that getting the transparency and the luster, like seeing the luster here, and it looks like you can see through. So it's really, really difficult. And all this white, the different white he has here. Yeah. Since on white paper, he had a problem if you paint white on white. You'll see it. So he used probably titanium, titanium white that sets off from the regular white.
And it's actually funny, on the camera, it looks so three-dimensional that the shadow he painted...
Oh, yeah, actually I look into the camera right now. Beautiful. Yeah.
And also, as we know, most minerals are not totally, they have inclusions. And he's captured the inclusions perfectly, like in these tourmaline crystals. And look at how fine it is. So you must have used some extremely fine brushes.
And this is a print. So later on, when we walk over to the special exhibit, you see the original painting. You can actually, from the side, you see the layer, which is even better.
Wow, that's incredible.
So I mean, there's a lot of... This is one of his best paintings he did, I think. You can really see the details, the luster, the color, the transparency. And you can see also the involvement or the evolvement of his skills for, I don't know, let me just check, for example, one of the older ones, from, that is all, let's see. The ones he did, for example, in 1994, like 30 years ago.
Wow.
I mean, they're great, yeah? Yeah. But you can see the difference in his...
Yeah, there's an element of understanding how to actually develop the artwork itself, isn't it? What I love about this specimen also is that he's also captured the slight different hue of the crystals. So you've got this beautiful green crystal here, but look at he's retained the yellowish colour of the smaller ones. It will always naturally have a slight less saturation. It's just brilliant.
No, he was a true artist, and I'm really happy and proud to own so many of his pieces. And it was funny since he lived in Berlin. So not too far. So we always met at some rest station at the highway, and it just gave him the rocks, and he took them, and he was painting.
Really?
In comparison to Barry Ample, he's in New York, so he flew to Barry and he was living in his guest house for a month, just staying there. Having his vacation and doing the
How long would it take to do? Do you know how long would that take?
Around about a month. Some might take 3-4 weeks, something like that. More 5-6 weeks.
Wow. Wow, incredible.
It's just phenomenal.
He loved his art.
And it's on the brush. He had something like just one little hair on the brush.
Right,
which is unbelievable.
Capture all these tiny conclusions, because you can even look under a loop, can't you? And see
Exactly,
some of the strokes using a lens.
Yeah, talking about loop, his goal was when you use a magnifying glass with a magnitude of 10, you still see the details. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
number one. Thank you. That's excellent. Awesome. One for the bookshelf.
Yeah.
Voila. Let me. It's closed. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go into the special exhibition. I think it's just excellent what's been put on here. It's one of the best things I've seen for a long time.
Not because I have a few pieces in there, but I think it's just the best he ever did, maybe.
Yeah. It's bringing the art with the mineral. It's almost bringing, maybe, I would say two disparate audiences who might be attracted by the minerals and the art. See them together. It blends so perfectly.
And you can see at the entrance here, talking about art, that's a painting. I'm super proud there to own that.
This is incredible. Tell us about
It's
this.
so cool. I mean, this is from a Swiss artist called Raphael Witz. The painting is from 1883.
1883.
And it still looks like I mean, it looks old, but it's fresh.
But look at the quality. It's got the light there. Look at the subject matter.
Yeah.
So here is someone who's looking at minerals I've been looking at the minerals on the table actually, and they're actually quite good for the time. And it was quite even in 1883, it was such an established market.
Yeah. We talked about yesterday. Actually, it would be cool to have one of these specimens. But I think they're all gone or lost their cut or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're right. Look at the quality of the groups here.
The big specimens. It shows that it's a well established.
And then the kid
community.
carrying in this rock. I mean, it's just.
And even there's some blue minerals on there, some colour. I mean, you've blown up the part that's been blown up for the show background, and you can see he's looking at a sort of reddish coloured mineral in there. And so it's probably, where is this set? Any idea? Is it Alpine or something?
Yeah, it's in Switzerland.
In Switzerland.
And supposedly this is a German mineralogist.
Yeah.
At the time, and I didn't know there's such thing. So that's his mineralogist outfit, even. And stuff. So that, and supposedly he's looking at a rare sulfur salt from Langenbach. Which is,
from the Bintal.
Yeah,
from the Bintal. Yeah. Wow. The Bintal is a great quarry.
That's why he's using the loop. Bintal is famous, but very small minerals.
Yeah, realgas and things. The red minerals, realgas came out of there. And some really rare sulfides and things.
Exactly.
Awesome. That is.
Yeah, so I'm super happy I got that. Actually, it was at auction in Switzerland.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I don't know, 7-8 years ago maybe, and luckily I heard about, because I'm not following art auctions at all. But I heard about that, and luckily there was no too much of a bidding war, so I got it.
Snapped up. Subject matter probably thought, that's a strange thing, but it's center of this exhibition. Okay.
All right. This is something really cool. I don't know too much about that. Eric Asselborn brought that in.
Oh, they are miners.
So they did this in the Erzgebirge in Saxony.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to ask him. He knows about these type of things. I think it's from 1700 or so.
Yeah.
And this supposedly was made for the French king at the time.
Wow.
Yeah. But I said I'm not an expert, and maybe you want to ask him. And
I know
that's really cool.
Highly collectible. This happened in England as well. So the miners used to collect bits of minerals, and they used to make
basically little mining.
What the mine looked like by using the minerals that came from the mine, and created their own art objects. So you can see all the levels, you can see the carts, you can see the little miners there dressed in their costume at the time, and they really captured what they felt was like being underground. It's hard work as well, as we know.
And from what I said, it's in a very good condition.
Yeah, it's excellent. They usually fall apart, and they're sort of thrown away and discarded.
So funny. There's like like corals up there.
In fact, what I didn't realise, you can see it here, but if you look from the side, it's like a book. So if you can actually capture the side, it's the side of a book, which is amazing. So you open the book and you've got a miner scene. And of course, something quite close to my own heart is next to this, some of the London collections. So quickly, these have been put in there, some figured specimens.
Yeah, I have to point that out because it's just very unique from what I understand.
The artist was Underwood. You know, this is some really great material. The original artwork from 1800. Here we have an Ecton mine, England, chalcopyrite, malachite, calcite. A great specimen for its time. Maybe not so visual now, but for its time, excellent. And you can see it was in the Philip Rashton collection.
When was it painted?
1800. Yeah, Underwood's a great artist. And I just love the richness of some of the museum collections are awesome, including the postcards even. You know, the postcards were made.
Is it also from?
Yeah, this is British Museum as well. So you can see the old pamphlet and the postcards, which are some people's first introduction to minerals. And if you look at this one here, you can see some of the actual specimens, especially this azurite on the right-hand side, and you can see it up here. Of course, it used to be called Chessilite because the azurites came from Chessy in France. Its name was changed to azurite, and there's the specimen itself. And it's just excellent. One of my favourites. So I don't want to hijack this, but I love the Symes, Colonel Symes rubellite, an old rubellite, slightly lost its colour over the years from Burma. And this is from Myanmar, of course. That used to be old Burma. And this was figured by James Sowerby, very famous book called Exotic Mineralogy, which an edition is shown on the right, and you can see the actual specimen as it was then and the original prose about it. Brilliant. But of course, we move from that to some
there's a lot of
exceptional modern treasures in the exhibition. As you can see, the show isn't even open yet, and people are piling in.
You can hear the vacuum here.
Just making sure things are ready.
So here's the tourmaline we just saw in the book.
There's the actual specimen itself.
With a little, from the same pocket, a little rocket.
Yeah.
So you can see the
incredible
actual specimen. And you see how gemmy it is. And
Panera. Oh, my.
So here is the original painting.
Right. Yeah. So this is the original.
I don't know if you can catch that. If you look from the side, you see the different layers. And the luster, you see that?
The colour as well, Marcus. It's brought out the colour.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see the original, you can understand the vagaries of printing something from the original. There's always a slight variation, but this is actually how the artist saw it. So you can actually see.
Yeah. It is a different, though.
It's much brighter. Yeah. It's got a lot more luster. Even the painting's got luster. That's so beautiful. I think it's just incredible. I can look at that, and then I can go straight over here. I can see the actual specimen itself. It's strange, isn't it? It gives you an appreciation for the specimen, and the specimen gives you an appreciation of the art. They work so well together.
That's so cool to have both. And that's the.
Now you see this crowded place. A lot of people in discussion.
So here, that's obviously the dragon you just saw on my advertising at the booth.
I love this.
Again, it's sculpture. It's a piece of art.
It's amazing.
Really made by nature.
So for our viewers, this is an aquamarine from Brazil. But it has been dissolved. Now, it hasn't been dissolved by a person, it's been dissolved by nature. So this was grown as a crystal, and we know that in some deposits, aquamarine is very susceptible to fluids that may come into the pocket where the crystal is growing or has grown. In this case, some acidic fluids have come into the pocket and slowly dissolved part of the crystal away. It hasn't dissolved it completely. Only
just enough
preferentially.
Little details. So why?
And look how these little ribbons are still there, holding together the top, and it's like an ice sculpture.
Yeah.
It's like an ice sculpture.
It's called the ice dragon, and if it dissolved a little more, this whole
Yeah, yeah.
You know, would have come off in.
Why did you call it the dragon then, Marcus? So, you can see it does look like a dragon.
Dragon or a seahorse.
A seahorse, yeah.
And again, here is the
And there's the
original painting.
original painting of that.
You can see the difference in the color.
Yeah, yeah.
It's much more intense. And actually, that's the color it looks at daylight.
Okay.
So here in the LED, it looks a little less, a little more pale, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
actually color at daylight.
Yeah.
So maybe next few days, maybe we can pull it out and look at it in the daylight.
Yeah. You actually, you were very kind
did you?
to let me see this a
Yeah.
few years ago.
Did you film
And
that
I
at that
filmed
time?
this.
Oh, cool. Okay.
When I took it into the sunlight, it just blew up.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, the colour.
Yeah.
And of course, that, I might say it's a problem, but we are at the vagaries of light sources, and we've played around with different lights to try and mimic the perfect daylight bulb.
And this is, when was this? 98.
1998.
So,
Yeah.
25 years. 25
Yeah.
years ago. But the painting is approximately 10 years. 10 years ago.
That's an incredible piece.
And I never displayed it, actually. I have this for 20 some years.
Yeah.
I never displayed it because I never had a base made, and I didn't know how to display it. And there was a Brazil exhibit here 12 years ago.
12 years ago, yeah.
And I had the piece here, but I didn't know how to put it in. So, you know what, that's,
Just laid it flat.
let it out
It doesn't
for the
quite
moment. And
press
there will
flat.
be a chance, one day, and they have this clutch mount made now,
for it.
put on the base.
It's perfect.
Because you don't want to sink it in the base, right? It looks
No,
wrong. It needs to float.
It is a piece of sculpture itself. I think that's what's happened in the past few years also,
Yeah.
is that some of the minerals have been elevated to artworks. So they've been displayed at
Look,
the outset
everything
as they are.
improves, yeah.
Yeah.
The display improved, the lighting improved.
Yeah,
Look,
everything.
like 30 years ago, the lighting, there was, just a little bulb.
Oh,
on it.
yeah, that looks nice.
Yeah, so, see, I mean, there's, tons of minerals.
Incredible.
I don't know what direction we want to go, this or this.
This is one of your cases here, isn't
Yeah,
it?
here, that's
These as
another
well.
one here.
Look at these aquamarines. This is great. You've got both together here.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, you get the quality of the colour and the form of the specimen in the back. But this front piece, look how it's framed. That long aquamarine just framed there by the feldspar, just perfect.
It's just right in the center.
That's right.
And what's funny,
Once
so
again.
he painted both pieces on one painting.
Beautiful.
And it's cool to see the difference in the color. It's both aquamarine, but you see,
Yeah. And actually, he's captured that here as well. A slightly bluish colour on the right. And aquamarine, it does tend to be greenish aqua, seawater. And he's
green.
captured
Also,
that here.
again, it depends on the light. Yeah. If you use a warmer light, it looks completely different than on a cold light or in a daylight.
You can see that there.
Another one that's cool. It's a Jonas.
Oh, wow.
Nice Jonas tourmaline.
What a pocket that was. Of course, you all know how famous it is, but see the colour, that rubellite elbow, look at it, it's beautiful.
Actually, let me see.
Wow.
It's better, huh?
Yeah, it does bring
yeah,
out,
yeah, yeah,
it does,
brings out the
it does
colour,
bring
yeah.
out that super wine colour, doesn't it, as well? I've always liked tourmaline with inclusions. These sort of flattened inclusions are quite common in tourmaline. It does pick up these sort of speckly lights, just adds something so much to it. And you can see it's slightly zoned as well. So if you look on the top surface, there's a slight darker centre that runs through the middle. Wow.
So now these are called distance.
Again, here's the
That's the specimen itself, yeah. Yeah, and he's painted it slightly tilted, so you can see the zoning in the top C-axis face, in the basal
Fossili questo è un matrix. From the top one, the blue one. It's tanzanite. Again, it's one of the finest from Tanzania. It's again the same. same guy, the King of Fury. He was one of the best pieces in Europe. And I said,
I must admit, this is one of my favourite combos. There we go, yeah. Marcus.
Yeah. That's the Roto Crowside from Sweet Home, from the famous Good Luck Pocket, which was in the, I don't know if it's written there, it was in the 90s, I think. Right?
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
93, 4 or something
They
like
had
that.
a whole series of Pocket, and it was really aptly named, because I remember when I spoke to Brian about the former person.
And this was the most famous one, I think. And this is one of the pieces that split between the owners. It was number 2.
Wow.
And I think it was John Lucking, I think, who got it at the time.
Yeah.
And Helmut Brückner, the same German dealer I got the fish from, you know, which he bought that. And then luckily I could acquire it from him.
But what
it's like 25 years ago.
I mean, for a Roto Crowsite, it is exceptional. The way it's positioned on Matrix, the quality of the faces themselves, and the transparency of the crystal is just amazing. Look at this. There's a warmish light on there. It brings out the colour. It's transparent. And actually, you can even see the double refraction that's happening. You know, from a carbonate, they tend to be this double refractive. That is just exceptional. Wow. I really like
cool.
that.
It's beautiful. I mean, there are bigger ones, maybe.
Yeah.
But for aesthetics, it's
the colour.
So nice.
And then above it, you got the most exceptional tanzanite from Tanzania. Of course, the blue variety of zagazite.
This was one of the first, like, real nice natural blue ones that were found.
Yeah.
25, 30 years ago. And you see on the side,
green.
It has like green,
the green,
like
stripes.
a sandwich, you know, on the left, right. It's just a few millimeters. I don't know if you can see that.
There was. I think there's a few pockets that came out with that sort, those wedge-shaped crystals with the green edges, really sought after. And somehow, what I really like about them is they have this offset termination. So they're chisel-shaped, but the top of it is always slightly to the left or slightly to the right. It just gives it a bit of character.
So
and of course, the
picture
of both
I have it oriented differently on the display because I like it better with the, on the basically this top.
Yeah.
Up there.
There you go.
Yeah, this one is this way.
And he's really he's captured the colour, and you can see the three-dimensionality there. As you saw that there of the paint.
That's it.
Wow.
Painting and
That's weird.
There's so many. We can spend hours here basically. So we can only show a few. This is some not as flashy things, but beautiful. Again, beautiful details.
What's interesting is to come around the show and not look at the minerals, but look at the paintings, look at the descriptions and identify the minerals.
Maybe
these are quite.
Maybe you want to go over there real quick because that's another.
The tanzanites here. Wow.
So the tanzanites, we probably filmed those a couple. But look at this.
this is actually a mosaic.
Oh, this is Scarpelle mosaic.
Yeah.
These guys.
Isn't it unbelievable? So it's a mosaic made of natural minerals.
Yeah.
It's not glass or anything. So they have, I don't know, they must have millions of fragments in stock, and then they have to select these things.
Yeah.
And create a mineral out of minerals.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Huh?
And when I look at this now, I'm seeing sodalite, I'm seeing lapis, I'm seeing the bradyrite forming the crystal itself. Yeah. And they've just made fragments of broken calcite or quartz, it looks like, to make the matrix up. And of course, they've used some micron things for the speckly nature of the black graphite that surrounds it. We'll see the specimen in a minute. That is the painstakingly selection of work. Even each one of these pieces has been hand carved as well to shape, mounted, and then polished slowly. Wow. And then you see the specimens themselves.
And that's the original specimen. Does it help with a little bit backlight?
Yeah.
Does it help?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see how the crystal. When you see how the crystal has grown, not just picking up that, it's got a slight stepped growth on the surface, and there's a parting that runs left to right across the crystal, and they've mimicked that perfectly by aligning the pieces in that Scarpelli painting. I must admit, Marcus, this is one of my favourite specimens I've ever seen.
Thank you.
I saw this a few years ago, and it's just
It's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
And there haven't been any significant ones the last 10 years, I would say. Tanzanite 1 is closed down for many years. And there's just a little mining going on around. But the small miners didn't hit anything like that.
But something
those two, I think, maybe the best in existence, I'd say, specimens. That's very cool with the
calcite.
Because the crystals, the triangular.
The triangular.
And it's a floater, so when you pick it up, you can see it's crystallized all the way around. Even the tanzanite is double terminated.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for our viewers who like a bit of geology, there's some dating work on these crystals, and they were found to have crystallized 500 million years ago. So these crystals are 500 million years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
There was a basin, and what you're seeing there was basically it's a load of clays and sediments were contorted and underwent intense heat and pressure over many millions of years until these crystals grew, and then they were formed. They travelled around the globe with plate tectonics. It became high enough near the surface for us to collect.
All I can say is very hot down there. It's
You've been down the mine.
I've been down the mine.
It's a deep mine.
It's 700-800 meters down. It's all volcanic.
Yeah.
It's the foothills of Kilimanjaro basically is the mine.
Yeah.
So it's all volcanic and it's really hot down there. It's like a steam bath.
I've seen pictures of the mine that's covered in. There's a lot of graphite there. Isn't there?
You're black,
covered in sprinkly graphite.
And obviously 100% humidity. So when you're down there a couple of hours, you lose some weight. That's for sure.
I think that's one of the things that people will start. These are so exceptional in how they're formed, but they're so difficult to find and mine and bring out.
Yeah.
We talk about in the mineral world about the values. I mean, we see really high prices, but when you actually think, when you add up the cost of how beautiful the thing is, how rare it is, and the cost of bringing it to the surface and preserving it, then you can see why.
Yeah.
And of course, Marcus, you've got to say that the huge tanzanite. This is just crazy.
Yeah. That is phenomenal. It's
enormous.
Over 2 kilos.
2 kilo tanzanite.
So do the math in carats.
Yeah, and it's like it's rare.
10,000 carats, 20,000.
It's rare to get large crystals, but that also retain form and translucency, which this one does.
And it's cool. It has a few calcites here.
Calcite,
and the little
side.
Little guys to the right is prehnite.
Prehnite. Okay, right. Yeah. I call these things like outliers, really. They're shockers. Shockers of minerals. And there's the
painting again.
Wow. Incredible. And again, it's got that texture on the surface that mimics the specimen itself. You can really see that.
This painting was done 2011. So the specimen is about 2 years older, like 2009. I'd say. Yeah, it's almost 15 years ago. Oh, time flies.
Did he select the specimens, or did you? How does that work?
I mean, we selected it together.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And obviously, it also depends on what people find. Of course, when those were found, I definitely wanted to have some paintings done. When the Pedernera piece has been found.
Yeah.
And then we were looking over the pieces together, and then he said, I want to do that. Yeah. And for example, the McEarl quartzes. Maybe the best one, but he cannot really paint it.
Really,
it's really difficult.
This is yours.
This, yeah.
I remember this.
Yeah,
fantastic garnet.
Yeah, it's so nice. Wow. Again, it's also like a sculpture.
Yeah,
with his quartzes shooting
right away through it. Look at that. This is from Pakistan.
Pakistan, from Shigar.
Shigar.
It has a a little aquamarine. You see on the side of that quartz.
Oh yeah, just there's like sidecar in the quartz there. You can just see that.
Yeah.
Pale aquamarine, yeah.
And
it's on a bed of star mica.
It's so nice, yeah.
Wow, look at the star mica at the bottom. It sets it all off.
These two.
Yeah, I do say to people, if anyone ever comes to the show, really look at the specimens, because I always see something different. Even though I've seen so many of them, you know, we always pick out something different about them.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, this year is really special. So whoever has the chance, time to come, should really come.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think we're going to see that again.
The show organisers, Chris Carlman, and his
unbelievable.
team,
He was working until 3 this morning here.
Really?
Unreal. And this is one of my favorite paintings too.
Oh yeah,
You got it really, really right. Yeah.
I tell you what, he's captured the colour and the vitreousness of the specimen itself. And you're right, Marcus, when you paint white minerals on a white background, you've got to be pretty good to make it, you know. Sometimes they use the white background to advantage as well, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Love the shadow as well.
Okay, I mean, as I said, I think we could continue for hours.
I tell you what, let's look at one thing. Let's go straight to the Paraiba.
Oh, yeah.
We must do that.
We almost forgot about the Paraiba. Can you imagine?
I think one of the centerpieces.
And Chris Kyleman, as a surprise, he put in a few cut
I
downs.
saw those this morning, but what were they weren't there before, just to show you. So, you know, as we know, Paraiba, tourmaline, all the rage, continues to be the rage. The sort of copper manganese coloured variety of tourmaline that was found in Brazil, 1982, I think. And it's very rare to see crystal. Oh my God! Now we're getting teased, but to see crystals of Paraiba tourmaline that are usually cut for gemstones. But this one,
show it well. Wow.
Two crystals on quartz. I remember when you showed me this, and I was absolutely. I saw, what is that? And I just could not believe it. And I love it. It's got a blue interior, and it's got a violet. Rind, I call it a rind, but a surface, slight violet colouring that you can pick out there. Oh, you're picking it out beautifully. And unusually, you know, tourmaline is trigonal, but these are six-sided. Usually it's three-sided prism, slightly rounded, and that's because the crystallography lovers out there, the tourmaline has grown a second-order prism in equal to the first-order prism, so it's formed hexagonal-shaped crystals. So it throws some people. When I first saw it, I think, tourmaline? Really? Why is hexagonal then? But really, it's just a preferential growth on some of the prism faces, the long faces. And it's probably had I've seen other ones of these, they have feldspar on them, so it's been carefully removed, I imagine. Feldspar usually grows with those just to reveal the crystals, but they're absolutely, I think it's unique.
Yeah. It is.
It is a unique specimen.
One of a kind.
You never forget
You never see it, and I haven't seen another one.
Yeah, and obviously it's the natural color, you know, it has not been heated.
Yeah. I mean, you could say what would happen if you heated one of these.
It's exactly
it would
turns into
the gemstone below.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly the color, the mint color.
Doesn't need a lot of heat either.
But we want to leave it the way it is, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is why it's so important. I mean, extreme conditions to form a crystal like this, it's almost a shame to, dare I say, to cut them into gemstones. Right, there's a lot of rough masses that were found that are perfect for gems. But to have a crystal with its external morphology and the association is really cool. It's really neat.
Yeah, phenomenal. And again, you got the painting, you see how, I mean, the difference in color. This is more like daylight, I think it was a challenge to capture that color, you know, for him. I have no idea
it is
how he did that.
In daylight. Let's see, I'll show you something. I did have a video of this many years ago when we first saw this, and I took it outside in the daylight, and it was that colour.
Yeah.
In the painting. Just,
Yeah, he used mainly daylight.
Crazy
for his
blue
painting.
violet.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, so we
Thank you, man.
kept the best for the end.
Well, I'm going to spend the rest of the day looking around this and perusing them, and it's been a great pleasure, Marcus. Always. You have
Thank you.
great material. Awesome. Thanks for sharing it.
Take
as well.
care.
Brilliant.